Hello and welcome to the RPM Discs WA Open 2023 supported by Disconnection and Disc Golf Warehouse official drone fly-through. We're here at the beautiful Mundaring Sporting Club having a look at the course for the upcoming 25th to 27th of August WA Open. Here we are having a look at Mundaring's blue layout. It involves a range of shots and is more technical than our gold layout. Jumping right into it, hole 1 is a 125 metre par 3 and this is not easy at all. Players will navigate over a golf green and into the tunnel down near to the basket. There's OB left side of the fairway all the way along, so don't want to fade out early. This will be the hardest hole you'll face on the blue course. Hole 2 is at 90 metres and it's a par 3. Players have two options off the tee. You can throw one up the gut all the way to the basket, or you can choose the left tunnel and fade back in towards the basket. Almost anywhere gives you a putt on this hole, but if you're on the right side, you may be a bit obstructed. Hole 3 is another par 3 and it's at 87 metres. Players will look to avoid these first two trees off the tee and make their way over the grass trees here in the middle of the fairway. As we get closer to the basket, there's a green up the hill on the left hand side, so keeping your disc on the right side of the fairway is the correct miss on this hole. Hole 4 is a 75 metre par 3 and players are faced with two options off the tee, the left tunnel or the right tunnel. Both tunnels are just as complex as each other and both have trees that you really don't want to hit, but you're looking to just get up the fairway and give yourself a putt. Choose whichever tunnel is most comfortable for you. Hole 5 is an 80 metre par 3 and you have three options off the tee. There's a bailout hyzer out to the right onto the gold fairway, or you can play up the middle straight towards the basket, or up the middle but slightly to the right coming into the green from the right hand side. All options are very tough on this hole. Hole 6 is 95 metres and yet another par 3. There's a Mando on the right side of the fairway to keep you going straight up the middle. You don't want to end up too short, you want to punch through those two trees and make your way all the way to the basket to hopefully give you a birdie putt. Hole 7 is our first par 4 and this one's 120 metres. There's a Mando on the left side of the fairway halfway up to keep you going down the tunnel right in the middle. About halfway, you'll face the tunnel. Tunnel stretches straight all the way down to the basket. A kick left or right can leave you scrambling though for the par. Hole 8 is a 71 metre par 3 and an excellent addition to Mundaring's blue course. Players will throw from the opposite side of the golf fairway to the basket, over the golf fairway and through a double Mando in towards the basket. The basket's only about 5 metres behind the double Mando though, so you can choose to attack the basket or lay up short and leave yourself a putt. No flags are in play on this hole. Hole 9 is a 99 metre downhill par 3. There's a sand green on the right near the basket and OB right side along the whole fairway and loops around the back of the basket, so not too far, so you don't want to push long on this hole. This hole is all about the 9s, but hopefully you don't take a 9. Hole 10 is a par 3 and stands at 78 metres. Players pretty much have two options off the tee. You can lace one dead straight down the tunnel all the way to the basket, or there's a hyzer line through the walkway to the next hole. Both lines are equally as tough as each other, but birdie is definitely possible, as this is a short par 3. Hole 11 is another par 3 and this one's at 80 metres. Players are looking at throwing their shot left off the tee and bringing it all the way back across to the basket on the right. There's a sand green on the left side of the fairway, which you hope to avoid. You want to get around this white gum and work your way back to the basket to give yourself a birdie putt. Hole 12 is 158 metres and we see another par 4. There are two options off the tee. Players play straight and down a little bit out to the right to leave themselves a shot into the green, or there's a straight hyzer out to the right off the tee. The hyzer will push further than you think down the hill. The approach is very scary though, as there's the green on the left side and OB all long around the back of the basket. This is a very scary approach and there's nothing wrong with taking a par on this hole. Hole 13 is a 72 metre par 3 straight up the hill of the golf fairway. Players are looking to throw a left to right moving shot into the basket on the right side of the fairway. there are a couple of guardians stopping your shot coming into the green. Hole 14 is a 145 metre par 4, and players are faced with two main options off the tee. Players can play straight through the main gap and hopefully out into the middle of the golf fairway to give them an approach to the green, or slightly to the left of that, through an even larger gap, players can throw a left to right moving shot to hopefully end up in a similar spot. This is a very scary green though, as there is the golf green on the short left which plays us out of bounds, and OB wrapping around the entire backside of the basket. Hole 15 is a par 4. This one says 123 metres, but plays further because it's uphill. Players can throw a straight placement shot off the tee and try to end up in the middle of the fairway to leave themselves an approach up the tunnel towards the basket. There's also a bailout option way on the left side that leaves you some sort of approach into the basket. This one's a birdie you'll want to be getting. Hole 16 stands at 116 metres and is a downhill par 3. This hole is home to Mundaring's infamous elevated basket. Players are looking to throw a straight shot and finish their shot fading out to the left. You can play under the leaves right in front of the basket, or keep it right, fade in left, and give yourself a putt on this scary green. Hole 17 is a par 4 and it's 172 metres. Players will be looking at throwing a straight shot off the tee and, if anything, ending up to the right. You don't want to be stuck on the left side of this fairway as it's jail. Bigger arms will be looking at making their way over the golf tee and land out here onto the grass. But the hole's not over. This is a very scary approach with OB starting 10 metres short of the creek, and you need to be making it over the creek to land safe to give yourself a putt. Hole 18 is a technical 71 metre par 3. There are three main options. You can pipe one straight up the tunnel and hopefully get all the way to the basket. You can throw a flex shot which goes off to the right and then comes back to the left, or you can throw a skipping hyzer which carries OB the entire way. All options work, and this will be a bonus birdie to finish off your round here at Mundaring. Thank you very much for watching the official drone fly-through for the WA Open. This was the blue layer, and if you haven't already, go check out the gold layer as all divisions will be playing it at least once. We hope to see you on the course for the WA Open, and Mundaring wishes you its best luck. Cheers.